And you thought business talk was boring.
3 entrepreneurs.
No rules.
Mr. Preneur TV.
Hey guys, how you doing? It's Sam Anderson, Mr. Preneur here with Mr. Preneur TV. 3 entrepreneurs, no rules. To my right, I have Will Roy back again with Blue. Say what?
You say episode 2?
No. Alright, well, this is episode 2. Alright, so Shane interrupted me. This is Shane Cruz with Shane Patrick Cruz Studios. And we are back with the second episode. What's going on, guys?
What's up, man?
Much, man. How you feeling?
Awesome, man. It's been a fantastic start to the week. Steelers didn't do so hot this weekend.
My boys let me down.
Patriots cheated.
Yeah, they cheated. Yeah, I don't know if y'all saw the video, but some extra seconds added onto the clock for them.
Extra seconds, and then you guys can hear
like
about
an extra 15 seconds.
the headsets went out the entire first half for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I was pretty pissed about that. But running game looked strong. Linebackers look good. Wide receiver core still there.
Even though Terry Bradshaw won 4 Super Bowls with no headsets. Just saying.
Yeah, but nowadays,
2015, man. Come on.
they use that stuff. Just like people recorded stuff like what we're doing right now, they didn't have all this equipment going on. True.
Anyway.
The Apple keynote came out this past week.
New iPhone is looking nice.
You gonna get you one?
Not yet. I'm gonna hold off on it, but next year I got.
Sean ordered one.
Sean, well, what was your favorite thing about the 6S?
I like that the touch, the haptic touch. I forget what they call it, but where it's actually you can different pressures do different things based on how hard you touch the screen. I thought that was pretty dope.
Yeah, so you can like preview an email without actually going into it. I do that all the time. Like I'll go look at an email and I'm like, oh, I'm not ready to respond to this. I have to go back later. Then I have to click mark unread and then do that whole process. So it doesn't sound like a big deal, but like those small things make a huge deal.
That wasn't even the biggest thing. I mean, the iPad Pro. That was probably the biggest thing.
I'm not sure how I feel about the Apple Pencil thing. Everybody's saying Steve Jobs is like rolling over in his grave because he said Apple would never use a stylus.
Yeah, that's been out for decades now.
And you gotta pay $100 for it on top of it.
$100.
But with the Pro, it comes with it. Just saying. I'm just saying.
You're gonna have a short-lived life on this show. Keep talking that
Windows.
And the Surface Pro 3 is an actual laptop with an actual processor. Just saying. And I can actually run real Photoshop and real Adobe products as opposed to just apps on an iPad.
I must say that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool.
Nah, I'm not signing that.
Still Apple for
They're all about the touch apps for Adobe now for photographers and videographers and that sort of thing, being able to do work right on that, but it's very limited in what you can do on it. Not discount. I have an iPhone, so not discounting Apple.
He's a hybrid. He goes back and forth. Shane, you got a great new project coming up. Why don't you tell everybody about that?
I'm in the middle of it. I started it yesterday. It's Portraits in Pink. Kind of give a quick rundown. I had a girl approach me probably a month and a half ago about doing a portrait of her in honor of her grandmother who had passed away from breast cancer. And it got me thinking, so I started a series behind it, project. It's called Portraits in Pink. I got linked up with a local company or organization called Pink Tie Gala. They put on a huge gala every year for breast cancer awareness, raise a lot of money. They do a fantastic job. They got about 750 people coming this year. But anyway, so I got about 35 emails within 72 hours, and I have 20 shoots scheduled over the next 2.5 weeks. Man. All for that. These women are incredible. Got some pretty interesting stories of these women. From breast cancer being in their family to like 2 times cancer survivors. One lady met her husband at the gala, so she told me already that if she had never gotten cancer, she would have never met her husband. So it's pretty incredible. So it's on. It's going to be on the website shanepatrickcruz.com under the Portraits in Pink section. The first photos should be up in about a couple weeks.
Good stuff, man.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Nice.
Got a lot of things going. Will, anything exciting going on with you?
For those of you who don't know, I might not look like it, but I love to eat. And I'm working on Henrico Restaurant Week right now. It's an event where we're from in Henrico, Virginia, where basically there's a bunch of restaurants come together for a common cause, which is to help a nonprofit. So I'm doing the branding and advertising for that as well as the video. It's going pretty well, and I'll post some of this right here at the link you see right there for more information.
Good stuff, good stuff. We all got some exciting things going on, and here we're on the second episode of Mr. Preneur TV, and to be quite honest, like we're still trying to formulate exactly how we want this to go. But our biggest thing, like amongst ourselves, we've just been speaking, you know, we're tired of talking about doing things. Let's just put out the content, see what we get. So we absolutely would love the feedback to you guys. Let us know what you're thinking of the show, what you'd like to see. So we are going to add a little bit different element this week. So we've all been getting a lot of questions as far as being entrepreneurs and some of the things we've been doing. A lot of people have been reaching out to us and asking us specific questions. So this episode, we kind of wanted to jump into some questions from you, the viewers. So we'll go ahead and kick that off. We'll start with Will. There was one specific question for you. Okay. Susan asks, how can I help my business to stand out when there are dozens of others in the city who are doing the same thing?
That's a good question, Susan. I would say the main thing is basically showing that your brand has a personality. So let's say you're a caterer or something. There's a bunch of caterers who all probably make great food. What sets you apart is who you are, who your brand is, who you're relating to. You want to make it a human feel. You don't want it to just be a business. If you can portray that humanity to your company and to your brand, people are more likely to relate with you. And also, it's providing value. So everybody can provide a service for money. You know, we all do that. But what about free stuff for your customers or for your target audience, just to let them know that you actually care about them as people? You know, if you give them enough, eventually they will, you know, be happy to buy something from you. But sometimes you have to give to receive. So that's what I would say.
Good stuff, good stuff. I think that a lot of entrepreneurs are dealing with that. Too many people look and see, you know, where there are 20 other people in my field who are doing this in this area. I guarantee you we can walk out of this door right now and throw a rock, we probably hit 20 real estate agents. But true. I've met a lot of people successful all in the same field, so don't ever let that be a deterrent for you where you think, oh, the market's already saturated. Like, there's always room for somebody who's the best at what they do. So really, you just go out and make sure that you're the best at what you're doing. But great point, Will.
If you can capitalize on a niche within that, it's always helpful.
Yeah, that's a huge thing. Like I know for you, there are certain photographs and projects that you won't take on because you have a specific area that you're always looking at. Yeah. Like, I mean, there are tons of photographers in the Richmond area, but the projects and things that you're working on are completely different from what any other photographer in the area is working on. Yeah. So that separates your brand immediately. All right, Shane's, the next question is for you. All right, this is from Blake. What's up, Blake? I have been wanting to start my graphic design business for the last 6 months, but I do not have the finances to support what I believe I will need. What steps would you recommend for getting started on a low budget?
Great question. Everybody starts on a low budget. I mean, that's just the way you get started. I mean, unless you're fortunate enough to have some financial backing of some sort from somebody, then you start on a low budget. I started on a low budget when I started doing photography. You don't need a whole lot. I mean, you need your graphic design it can be a little bit different. You will need some programs like Adobe. You will need eventually Adobe or some kind of graphic design studio to go along with it. But once again, I mean, right along with what Will and Sam were saying, you shouldn't let that deter you in the beginning. I remember when I very first started, I bought the cheapest camera possible and the cheapest laptop possible, and I bought Adobe Photoshop Elements, which is like the consumer version, for like $50 at Best Buy, and Adobe Premiere Elements, which is the cheaper consumer version for video editing, and that's what I use. And I use that, and you can create some. It's not about the gear. It's about the quality of the content that you create with what gear that you have.
Exactly.
And as far as graphic design too, a lot of people think that you need to go to school, that is a requirement to do graphic design. It's not in today's day and age.
YouTube University, baby.
I mean,
Exactly.
It's not a requirement. You can learn quite a lot from actually some pretty good experts within the field right online. So don't let that be a deterrent. I mean, you don't need a $5,000 camera to create great images. So.
And I think all of us have been students of YouTube University.
Proud graduate.
Valedictorian. I don't think any of us had the skill sets that we have now until we went online and just simply sought out that information.
Yeah.
There's several individuals online that I follow on a daily basis, and I continually get information from them. It was actually built one of the largest sectors of one of my companies.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just me simply logging in online and consuming the information that they were putting out there.
Yeah.
I know, again, me and Shane go way back, but early on in the days, I remember he was actually taking classes and things like that. But everything that he does now at an extreme professional level, self-taught, went online and did these things.
Well, not only that, too. The other thing too is, and you can keep this in mind too when you're getting started, is reach out, network. When I very first got started, I didn't have what was considered great equipment, expensive pro equipment. So I reached out to photographers who were pro photographers and did have pro equipment, and I went and assisted them. Same with graphic design. I mean, reach out to local graphic designers in your area. They might need some help. They might need some assisting. So it gives you the opportunity to go work on the 27-inch iMac that has the pro systems on it, and be able to learn. Also, not only be able to work on the gear, the pro gear, but learn from professionals who are doing it. So that's always network too.
One last thing for that as well, for graphic design, Adobe Creative Suite has a special deal for students. I believe it's only like
It's $20.
$20
That's
a
what I
month, and you get all the Adobe programs, including Illustrator, Photoshop, all the photography, video
design,
programs.
all that.
So
Yeah.
that's your best bet if you're starting out. Just log into adobe.com, do the student discount, and you'll be all set for about $20 a month.
Yeah.
Man, I'm about to sign up for a community college class so I can get that $20 deal.
Exactly.
All right, last question is from Richard. All right, and Richard asks, which platform is the best for developing the largest audience for my business? Richard, I'm assuming that you're talking about social media, since this was geared towards me. So everybody knows Facebook is the monster in social media. It's the giant. All the way from children up to grandparents now are all on social media. It really depends on the type of business that you're in that determines which platform is the best for you. For someone like these guys, they're creative types, videography and photography, Instagram is king. Instagram is actually the fastest growing social media platform in the world right now. More and more individuals in the higher age bracket are starting to log in and get on Instagram.
Your mom has an Instagram account.
Your mom does have an Instagram
Think about
account.
that.
That sounded wrong just the way you said that.
Just saying.
Your mama got an Instagram.
Your
Your mom's taking selfies on Instagram.
But it's actually that age group between 35 to 45 is the fastest growing population on Instagram right now. So for certain businesses, if that's your demographic, then that's a platform you want to be on. But it's also ensuring that the information that you're putting out is native to that platform. So for Instagram, you don't want to really take a snapshot of an article and post that on Instagram. That's not something that's visually appealing. That's more towards the videos and visually appealing photography. Facebook is it's a great reach, and I think so far, since they've been one of the oldest running ones, it's a lot easier to get your name out there utilizing the other services that Facebook has to offer. But it could be like if you're in a wedding business, like Pinterest is like king for something like that. I'll tell you guys right now, I absolutely hate Twitter. I think it is the stupidest form of social media. But that doesn't mean that I devalue its prominence in the marketplace. Like right now, for instance, we're periscoping this episode.
I'm
And
not gonna say Twitter's terrible.
what's that?
Twitter's not terrible. We love Twitter.
I say that to say, like, I personally hate tweeting. Like, it just seems. I grew up more of that phase with the Facebook, and I instantly linked to Instagram. But you can reach a broad audience through the Twitter model. So it really depends on which model and business is best for you. But definitely keep in mind Instagram. Snapchat's something a lot of people aren't looking at right now as a form of promoting their businesses, but I'm telling you, it's going to be key. A lot of people, like when Snapchat first came out, everybody thinks it's just a bunch of girls that are 12 years old, like taking selfies, and all the older people thought like kids were doing inappropriate things and sending naked pictures to each other on Snapchat. But every social media platform starts with children being the one to absorb it first. Then the ages kind of grow into it, and right now that's what we're seeing with Snapchat. So make sure you keep a lookout on that. And Instagram is now getting into advertisements for their platform as well. So just like you can boost a post and advertise on Facebook, Instagram's now going that direction. So make sure that you're staying up on the news with that. And you can definitely check out my blog. I'll definitely be speaking about that as well. But I think it's a great show, guys.
Yes, sir.
Some good information out there today. If you have anything specifically that you're wondering in regards to entrepreneurship, branding, creative, networking, social media, any of those things, make sure you email us at the address below. Check us out at mrpreneur.org, and we'll see you guys next time.
See you guys.
See.